want to tell you a story. A long time ago, in the faraway land of Hypothetica, there ruled the benevolent King Longbeard. Under his rule, Hypothetica was a place of conversation and idea sharing. People gathered in the public square and discussed ideas without fear of repercussions. But one day, King Longbeard died, and he was succeeded by his son, King Mustache. The people of Hypothetica did not like King Mustache as much as they did his father. They didn't cheer as loud when he spoke or praise his leadership like they did his father. Some would even make fun of his mustache. One day, when King Mustache was addressing the people, someone yelled out an insult about his mustache. Fed up, King Mustache ordered his guards to execute the man who insulted him. This was a key moment in the land of Hypothetica. Until then, Hypothetica was a place of free thought. But if the guard went through with the execution, it wouldn't be any longer. At this moment, the power lay with the guard and the people that had gathered. If he chose not to obey the king, then the people would rally behind him and the king's act of censorship would have no power. But if he obeyed, then everyone would be too afraid to speak out against the king in the future for fear of being punished. Unfortunately for Hypotheticans, the guard chose to obey. After that, King Mustache began to implement new laws that outlawed any critiques of his power or his facial hair. Hypothetica was transformed from a free land with people thinking and communicating together to a place where people were too afraid to discuss ideas with their neighbor. Now, I want you to imagine with me what this story would be if we swapped out a few of the names in the story. Instead of Hypothetica, it was Canada. Instead of King Mustache, it was the government of Canada. You see, there's been this story circulating that has me and other freedom and democracy-loving people like me pretty concerned. An advertising van owned by the news network Rebel News was advertising a message critiquing the government's immigration policy. This message was created and paid for by a separate anonymous entity. After the video went viral, people were calling for the police to arrest anyone associated with the van, whether it be the people who created it or the people at Rebel News who own the van. The wealthy CEO even offered a $25,000 reward for any information leading to an arrest. This has led to the Toronto Police Department opening an active hate speech investigation into the incident. Now, I want to be really clear about this. This is a movement of citizen and government forces that are trying to arrest people for speaking out against the government. And of course, that's not how they're framing it. They're just saying they're going after hate speech. But it's kind of funny that hate speech always seems to line up with anti-government speech. We in Canada are at the same moment that the guard was at in Hypothetica. Are we going to sit by and let the government prosecute people for speech? Or are we going to stand up and let the government know that their act of censorship has no power? I think that Canadians are too smart to fall for the tired strategy of marking dissent as hate speech. I think that most Canadians believe in the basic human right of free expression, even if you disagree with that expression. Now, this isn't a right or left issue. You could be like me and disagree with the framing and the way they made the argument. You can hate everything about the message, but at the end of the day, we have to understand that if we don't have the freedom to express ourselves, we don't have any freedoms at all. If we sit by and let them take away our right to free speech, then we let them take away the foundation of all our rights. The decision is up to us.